Yeah. Now I have the meaning of suspect. And thanks, Jake, for that lead. And happy birthday, by the way. Uh, I was recently at a meeting at Water's Edge, and the topic was willingness. Now, that's not my topic tonight, but somebody shared that want is in the dictionary before willingness. So, did I want to speak here? No. Am I willing? Yes. So, what I want to talk about today is from my perspective, it's my interaction with spirituality and religion. Now, I grew up Catholic, and years ago, I didn't feel like I wanted to follow religion anymore. So I had put spirituality and religion in the same compartment and tossed it away. And so after contemplation and talking to a lot of people, like going to Milam and thinking clearly and with a sober mind, I thought a lot more about that, and I read a lot about that. I'm going to share something that touched me in that fashion. When I think about religion and spirituality, what I've come to believe is that spirituality is something everybody's born with. And that I came to choose to accept it. Whereas I think people seek out religion or seek out faith, and that's great. But when I was asked to seek out spirituality, that was the differentiation that I had in that. So I'm going to read a couple things, they're short, and then just follow it up with some of my thoughts. So there's a reading that is in a book that I read on a regular basis, and this subject is letting go of limiting illusions. For some of us, the thought of trusting a power outside ourselves to help make our dreams come true is definitely a threatening concept, especially if we're used to being in control, or rather, used to the grand illusion of being in control. Many more of us go through life trapped by another illusion that an uncaring, capricious fate determines our destiny. Shell-shocked from some of the acutely miserable things that life throws our way, we're deeply afraid to believe that a loving, generous, creative force supports our endeavors. We're afraid to trust that same spirit that created the universe probably knows how to help us get the promotion, go back to school, start our new business, find the new job. Like mirrors in a carnival funhouse that distort appearances. What we see with our eyes is not real. We buy into the illusion that external events possess the ultimate power to deny our dreams. And we wonder why we're so unhappy. Let go of limiting illusions that have held you back from knowing that just to be alive is a grand thing. Suspend disbelief. Experiment with loving, supportive universe that embraces even skeptics. Today, be willing to believe that a companion spirit is leading you every step of the way and knows the next step. So that means a lot to me because it profoundly changed the way I perceive things and things that affect me, the way I affect others. And it's really about promoting myself in a kind and generous way versus me. So I thought that works for me. And at Milam, I was working with a counselor, and we were talking about higher power, and we are talking about spirituality versus religion, that sort of thing. And again, this is just my definition, my experience of what I went through, and my different thoughts from saying no to everything to being open in regards to that. And so they asked me to define a higher power. And so I love nature. I chose nature as my higher power. I still have it. And so when they asked me to put pen to paper to discuss this and think about it, I wrote this. So the question is why, how nature is my higher power. Nature is all powerful. It destroys and it creates. It dies and it recycles. It shares many similarities to a God, yet it remains mostly impartial, not favoring one thing over another. It loves all of its creations equally and gives the tools to fit their lot in the circle of life. The fact that it is both tangible and mysterious leaves me with the assurance and faith simultaneously. I also believe that it may play a hard. I also believe that it may play a hand when dealing with karma and the positive or negative energies we exude into the world around us. The other morning, I was listening to the music of the birds, the trees, and the stream around me. Saw a rabbit hop up about 4 feet away, and as I sat on the bench, it looked at me, and I looked at it. It foraged briefly and hopped away, pausing to take one final look over its shoulder back at me. It knew I wasn't a threat. When that moment passed, I felt peace in my heart and soul, knowing that I wasn't a threat to it. So I've also written that I've chosen to accept my spirituality instead of trying to find it. I believe everyone has it. We were born with it. I identified religion and spirituality as the same thing until I became aware that people actually seek out religions and beliefs, whereas I choose to accept my spirituality. And then I wrote something about the aura that I believe is around everybody, whether spiritual or not. The aura is everything that surrounds us individually and globally. So what this has done and what I've come to believe is that I have a sense of inner peace. And I spent my whole life just fighting and trying to achieve and find something elusive or trying to define it. So this has brought me, again, inner peace and joy. And I think that I exude that. I try to exude that. I like to think I do it all the time, but maybe not always. So thank you guys. Thank you for, thank you very much. First time I've been here. Thank you, Jake. Happy birthday.